Deep breaths, everyone. Living Local DMV is back. We're continuing to talk about April as Stress Awareness Month, and today we're joined by Dr. Rachel Goldman, a licensed psychologist and author of the book When Life Happens. She's got 5 one-minute strategies for how moms can regain their peace when life throws them a curveball. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us today. This is the information that we need.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's absolutely a delight. When life happens, what inspired you to write this book?
Yeah, so I'm a psychologist and I've been working with clients for several years, well over about 15 years now. And I started noticing patterns. I started noticing, especially women in particular, but really everybody, coming into my office and saying things like, I know what I should be doing, but I don't really know how to do it, or like kind of the next step to take. And oftentimes things would also come up related to stress, and I'd be like, life happens.
Yeah.
So after several years of doing clinical work and seeing certain patterns, I realized it's time to put my tips in a book to help everybody and to really make these tips a little bit more accessible.
Speaking of the 5 tips that are in the book, and we'll put these right on the screen for our audience, the name it to tame it, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique, reframe, focusing on what's in your control, the breathing reset, and the cognitive reframe. Now, I'm going to ask you a personal question.
Yes.
Your train was an hour late today. Which of these tips did you use, and how was it effective?
Yeah, so many of them, and I'm so glad you asked that because I actually really do use the tools in my book, and I'm just more intentional about it now that I've written the book. So the breathing exercise, absolutely. I use breathing techniques all the time in between moments, even when I don't need them, which I do recommend that people to do to kind of lower that stress level, because you don't know when life's going to happen, so it's already a little lower. Also, the cognitive reframe is another one, to get out of our head and to reframe the way that we're thinking about things, as well as that it's not, focusing on what's in your control. So many times I went back to that thought as I'm like, do I take the next train? What do I do? It's like, well, what's in my control right now? I can change the train, and hopefully that'll be in my control to be a little bit earlier than the train that never arrived. But really all of those techniques can be so helpful, and it really depends on each person what you see yourself doing in that situation. If you're somebody that doesn't see yourself thinking about how you're going to reframe your thought, then that wouldn't be a tool that I would put in your toolbox quite yet.
And I'm sure that there are baby steps to perfecting these practices.
Exactly. Yeah. So we have to start with one of them and then practice, right? So even a breathing technique, we all think that we know how to take a deep breath, for instance, and not every kind of breath is going to calm us down. So learning ourselves, learning our bodies, and figuring out which one works for us, practicing it when you don't need it. So then when you do need it, like me on the train, I'm like, all right, I got it, I got this, you know? So, but taking that baby step and thinking, what can I do today that's gonna help me get one step closer to feeling calmer or more in control.
This is incredible, I love it, and so important here during Stress Awareness Month, because we're all very aware of the stress that we're under. Well, we have your website right there on the screen for our audience so that they can get a hold of your book, When Life Happens. Thank you so much for joining us today on Living Local DMV.